We are here in Spinnakers in Rodney Bay, where a meeting is currently in progress with major restaurant owners who are definitely feeling the impact of COVID-19 and its protocols. Chief among their concerns is the sale of alcohol amid the curfew and the effect it has on business operations. The fallout from COVID-19 and its health safety guidelines are far-reaching. Restaurants in St. Lucia, like other businesses globally, are struggling to stay afloat and retain staff. Independent restaurant owners in the north say while liquor licenses are reinstated, alcohol consumption is banned at such establishments. They claim that the alcohol legislation, state of emergency and curfew are hurting their bottom line. Owners met on Friday to formulate a plan to comply with the measures, generate revenue and keep customers safe.
The fact that alcohol cannot be consumed on the premises, and we're not really sure if our liquor licenses are revoked or not presently. The other thing is the curfew for night restaurants. Obviously, the current curfew of 9 p.m. will not facilitate any restaurants that works for dinners only to be able to operate under any conditions. And then there's some smaller protocols that we're unclear about that we feel may or may not have use or utility in our industry. But only time will tell with some of these things. It depends on, as we move forward, whether some of these protocols are effective or not. We just don't know. But those two are the major ones. The curfew is a major one, and obviously the liquor, because most people come to restaurants want to have, a glass of wine or a cocktail.
Co-owner of Buzz Restaurant in Rodney Bay, Matthew Hartman, expressed concern about paying staff when little or no revenue is coming in.
We know that the staff in our industry is at the lower end of the socioeconomic bracket. We know that these people, most of these people are struggling. They live paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth, and we're acutely aware that they were the first to be laid off. So not only are they the lowest paid, but they're the first to be laid off. And as a result of that, they're in a much more challenging situation than others, and we are looking out for them as well. We'd like to be able to open our doors to get these people. We're talking about an industry of thousands of employees, or likely thousands of employees, who cannot go back to work and cannot put bread on the table. And in some households, both incomes from both parents come from this industry. So if they don't have that, what's going to happen next? We know that the NIC is making some contributions, stimulus packages for some people, but how long this is going to run out? When this runs out, are we going to be able to employ them again and give them gainful employment so that they can feed their families and put food on the table, basically?
Director of Independent Restaurants Orlando Satchel recommends the authorities gradually relax border restrictions while also keeping public health in mind.
This is the new norm. This is the reality. We're actually going into our quiet time as well. So I really will look forward to us to find a way to open up to regionally. Open up St. Lucia so St. Lucia becomes, everyone's free movement because we have no COVID. And then we look at regionally. And once we're regionally doing what we're doing, then we look internationally. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take away the government as implying, but for St. Lucians, we know where we are already. And the longer it continues, the challenge we're going to get for us. So I think, in all fairness, we need to find a way to give people the opportunity to come to our restaurants. Of course, social distance. Of course, with things in place. But at least we come in, get something.
The island reopened their ports on June 4th, but with rigorous guidelines including the restricted movement of visitors throughout communities. The restaurant owners in the north who rely on tourists for business argued that this may have further ramifications for operations. They hope other establishments will join the cause so they can have a unified voice to bring their concerns to the attention of the authorities. From Spinnakers Bar, where I cannot have a drink, I am Gina Filippi reporting for the HTS News Force.